I do have several disclaimers that I want to share with you before you decide to color your hair red. What's good, everybody? That feels like a redundant question because the people have spoken and we know what's good. We know what the people want. So in today's video, we're going to talk about the most popular hair trends for fall winter 2022 to 2023 because baby, it's salon season and I want to make sure that your hair is holiday ready. If you don't know me, welcome. I'm Mel, your main girl. I'm a licensed hairstylist who currently can't do hair, but I still want to make sure that you're making the right choices in the chair. So without further ado, I shall explain to you the method behind the magic of creating some of the most popular looks this season. You'll learn what to ask your stylist to achieve the look, and most importantly, we'll talk about what it's going to take to maintain this look that you wish to attain. Because before a big hair change, you might want to consider how often you're going to have to see your stylist to maintain this look and the right aftercare to keep it looking fresh. So without further ado, let's get to it. Now, of course, we're going to talk about both colors and cuts, but you gotta build a house before you paint it, so we will talk about haircuts first. Now, Amanda, I know you do not want to hear this, but short bobs are not going anywhere. Earlier this year, with the new year, a lot of people were cutting their hair short, so the French bob was in full force, which is one of my absolute favorite hairstyles. But something to know about short hair is it does take a lot of maintenance. So at this point in the year, a lot of people are growing their hair out just a little bit, and that French bob cut is being evolved into this layered bob. These are some examples that I absolutely love. We're seeing this a lot on both straight hair as well as curly hair. This cut gives the perfect combination of the right amount of movement, framing around the face, as well as versatility because it's not too short that you can't style it, and it's not too long, which can take a long time to dry and also take away from volume. You start off with a blunt perimeter. This makes the hair look so full and alive, which is really great if your hair is fine. Now you have to add in the long layers all around the head because this is gonna help with the movement, as well as giving the hair a little bit of extra texture. And then for the face framing layers, you can have a little bit of fun with this. Bangs are always a thing, and in my professional opinion, the fall is the best time to bring them around because they just look so cute with the hat, and I just love the way they frame the face. But we're not necessarily looking at a heavy bang. We're looking for wispy bottleneck bangs. Bottleneck just explains the way that the haircut shapes your face. The really wispy bangs have the shortest point right in the middle of your face here, and then gradually get longer and shape your face like this, which is what gives it its name. But essentially, it's just a really wispy, minimal curtain bang. It's like bangs, but not really bangs. It's the bangs with benefits, which we did a whole video on earlier this year as well. The best part about these is they are super low commitment. It's a great place to start with bangs before going too heavy because you can always cut more hair, but you can't add it back. As I mentioned, short hair is more maintenance, so you're probably gonna see your stylist every 2 to maybe 4 months maximum, depending on how fast your hair grows. Even if you are trying to grow out your long layered bob, you will need to reshape the layers, so make sure that you are prepared to go back into salon, or you can always follow one of the DIY haircuts that I have on here. It's up to you. Let me know if this is all sounding exciting to you. And if you are ready to take the plunge, ask your stylist for the medium length bob. Clarify where you want it to sit, maybe just above your tit or your collarbone, okay? We call this a long bob, and you want it blunt, but with long layers throughout the hair and face framings. And if you're looking to take part in the next hair color trend, coppers, auburns, red, that rust color, everyone is seeking to add some warmth to the hair, which is valid because it looks literally stunning on everyone. There is the right shade of copper and red for everyone out there, any skin tone, any eye color. But I do have several disclaimers that I want to share with you before you decide to color your hair red. The two biggest challenges that copper hair will give you is that it can be the fastest to fade while also taking the longest to get out of the hair. Ironically, but here's why. This is the hair color level system. Level 1 is the darkest, and level 10 is the lightest. The sweet spots for reds to live, thrive, and survive is levels 3 to 7. That's because underneath these levels, once you start to lift them, the natural remaining pigments are predominantly red, red-orange, and orange. Those natural remaining pigments provide a foundation for the color to hold on to. Blonde hair level 10, 9, even 8, let's say you're blonde, which are all out of the red zone, are not going to be able to support that warmth. At least not after one color session. So after your first appointment, you may notice in a couple weeks your hair is fading extremely fast and your color may look very hollow because it's lacking the pigment that is needed. So be prepared to have to go back in to redo your hair. Now let's say you're person number B, you have so much pigment in your hair, you're a level 2, 3 naturally, or maybe you've colored your hair dark before. If you want a vibrant copper or red, you have to lighten your hair to get to the right level so that you can see that reflect and that vibrance. My hair right now, with the dark brown that it is too dark to show off a copper color in the state that it is. I would have to lighten my hair to a level 7, and by putting lightener on my hair, it's increasing my porosity, which again leads to fading quickly. Now let's say you're okay with that because you're planning to refresh your color with color masks at home. You're still going to be looking at color touch-up appointments every 4 to 5 weeks to touch up the roots, because if you let your roots grow too long in between your coppery color, you do run the risk of requiring a double process. What's that and why? Well, a double process is going to include applying 2 colors to your head, because when you let the roots grow too long, more than half an inch from your scalp, the first half an inch is like baby hair. It's fresh, it lightens very easily, but then everything beyond that keratinizes and it's going to be much harder to lift. This is called hot roots, which low-key was a trend a couple years ago because of Billie Eilish. But otherwise, a hot root is not a good thing. It's this really bright band around the scalp that is lighter than the rest of the color because the rest of it didn't get to lighten properly or color properly because it took so long in between appointments. If you've ever colored your hair at home, you may have experienced this, or maybe you've also experienced it in salon. And because hot roots are such a problem, you always have to do a separate color on your roots from your ends, which is why it's very difficult to achieve a good copper color done at home. It's even difficult for some stylists to master unless they are a master colorist or actually specialized in redheads, which in that case, I would recommend you go to one. And so to avoid a hot root, you have to maintain the color every 4 to 5 weeks, as well as formulating properly for the hair that is growing out of the scalp. If it gets too long, you get into complications. So what are we learning from all of this? Copper is high maintenance. It's really crucial and important to make sure that you consider your lifestyle before making a drastic hair change. And it's better you have that talk with yourself now before coloring your hair red and wanting to change it in a few months down the line. Like I said, while red can fade very fast, it can also really stain the hair, and that artificial pigment can be very difficult to get out of the hair, especially if you want to become a light blonde once again. I realize I might really sound like a hater, but I love reds and coppers so much. And if they are done right, it is so right. Just make sure that you are honest with your stylist about what your hair history is. If you have colored ends, it's really important to know that you have to lighten them in order to see the right color, especially if you are not in the red zone. You need to be prepared to go to the salon every 4, 5, maybe 6 weeks to touch up. And thankfully, you can use color depositing masks in between to refresh your color on your wash days. And that way you can always go out with a bang. Now, having said all that, the last trend in effect is adding depth. We add depth to the hair by adding variation of highlights and lowlights and a shadow root. But I've been noticing that colors are becoming a lot more solid with subtle dimension. There's still highs and lows throughout the hair, which if you have previously highlighted hair or you've had balayage, highlights in the past, you have that dimension in through your ends. But I see that people are looking for a lot more blend. There are less and less people that are asking for those bright pops of dimension that look unnatural. Color block is always really fun and cool. That look is made for a very intentional pop of color, which is also very high maintenance. But with the solid, more natural looks, typically they're easier to maintain. Unless you're red. They want the color to look like it's been growing out of their head. Even if it is an unnatural hair color like red, we're looking for a seamless flow of color. And what's beautiful with curls is they naturally have dimension in all the texture. But overall, we're adding more depth to the hair by toning down a lot of that extreme brightness for a more cohesive look. And as we are toning things down, the hair is looking a lot healthier, and healthy hair is always in. That's just something that I've been noticing. If you have been thinking of making a hair change, let me know what it is in the comment section below. And if you would like to learn more about what tones you should be looking for, and you want to pick the right tone for your skin and eye colors. What eye is down there? Then you can check out that video that I made previously up next. Am I right? Let me know what you think. Maybe you're not into trends. You know, these trends, they come and go, but you're here forever. You're here as long as you're here. But I mean you as you are, you as a person, you as your aesthetic, you have a certain look suited for you. So stay tuned for a read on your aesthetic and the right hairstyle for you, a video I'm working on up next, so I can continue to help you make better choices in the chair while I am unable to do hair. Again, this has been a very brutal time for me, but we are healing. We are almost there. And truly, I can't wait till once again I can do some hair. In the meantime, and as always, I will be here each and every Texture Tuesday with a brand new video. So until next time, this has been your main girl Mel, and I am out. Peace. All right. Just brought me a mid-film snack. Oh my God. No, Amanda, it's gonna break my fast. Go away, please.
Oh, you're fasting?
I'm fasting, but I am drinking my matcha. It's pumpkin pie matcha. No, Amanda, it literally tastes like autumn in a cup. Tell me that's not heaven. Amanda, please.
But I'm not a pumpkin person unless it's pumpkin pie.
This is pumpkin pie matcha.
Yeah, but we open it. Okay, enjoy.
Some people just don't have any taste. I honestly could not tell you what's happening at the top of my head. It's just the way that the hair is falling. I'm not farting! This chair makes me look so bad and so fat. To be fair, I did kind of break the chair. But what? I'm sorry. You're made to support me.